Chapter 55. Surrender of Earth Traveler Sun. On his way to Dragon Squeezing Mountain, Yang Jian landed by mistake on a high mountain. He heard the crying of apes and cranes among the ancient pine and cypress forests. Streams of clear water flowed quietly by and a sweet fragrance filled the air. Tigers wandered here and there. On the peaks lads were busily picking medicinal herbs. He walked along a path lined with old pine trees. Crossing a bridge, he discovered a magnificent mansion. It had a green tile roof and carved eaves. A board on the vermilion gate read, "The Green Phoenix Palace." He was admiring the pretty scenery from the shade of a pine tree when the gate opened and a beautiful woman came out, walking slowly and gracefully. She was dressed in a red silk robe embroidered with white cranes and attended by a couple of lads holding feather fans and pennants. The 8 lasses at her side filled the forest with alluring fragrance. Yang Jian hid himself among the pine trees, intending to leave as soon as the lady had gone. But the lady directed her attendants. "Go to that pine grove. There's an idler hiding behind the trees." When he heard this, Yang Jian moved forward. "How do you do?" He greeted her and exclaimed, "I've come here by mistake. I'm a disciple of Jade Tripod. My name is Yang Jian. By order of Jiang Ziya, I'm on my way to Dragon Squeezing Mountain. Would you kindly explain to your mistress, as it would be impolite for me to apologize personally?" When she heard the report about Yang Jian, the lady said, "Since he's a disciple of Jade Tripod, tell him to come see me." Yang Jian came forward and bowed, and the lady inquired where he was going. "Earth Traveler Sun is making trouble in West Qi, and King Wu and Jiang Ziya barely escaped assassination yesterday. I'm going to Dragon Squeezing Mountain to make inquiries about him. I'm sorry if I've offended you." Yang Jian replied sincerely, "Earth Traveler Sun is a disciple of Krakukanda. The matter can be easily settled if his master goes to West Qi. Please offer my best regards to Jiang Ziya. Hurry on now." The lady urged, "May I know your honorable name? I'll report your kindness on my return to West Yi." Yang Jian said with a bow, "I'm the daughter of the Jade Emperor, by Golden Mother of the Jade Pond. At the Longevity Peach Banquet I was supposed to serve wine, but I failed to observe the proper etiquette. As punishment, I have been exiled to this mountain. I'm Princess Long Ji." Yang Jian bowed in farewell to the princess and set off. Before long, however, he dropped down again beside a swamp. A storm was rising, uprooting trees and churning up waves as high as mountains. In the midst of the storm, a water spout rose 30 feet high from the swamp, and at its mouth Yang Jian saw a queer creature. It had a mouth as big as a basin and teeth like swords. "Where's the man for me to eat?" the creature cried. It jumped onto the bank and attacked Yang Jian with a long fork. "Damned beast! How dare you be so rude?" Yang Jian laughed and replied with his lance. After a few rounds, he evoked thunder and lightning, putting the creature to flight. Yang Jian pursued him closely, but the monster dodged into a large cave at the foot of a hill. Yang Jian laughed. "Others may hesitate, but not I. No matter what might happen, I'm still going in." It was very dark in the cave, but Yang Jian's eyes gave off 2 beams of light which lit it up as bright as day. He went to the far end of the cave, but found nothing except a double-bladed cutlass with 3 sharp points laid upon a parcel. He picked up the cutlass and opened the parcel. He found a shining pale yellow gown which, to his delight, fitted him perfectly. He put the gown back, tied his lance and the cutlass together, and was about to walk out of the cave when he heard a voice from behind. "Catch the thief." He turned and saw 2 lads. Standing still, he inquired, "Who's the chief?" "You, of course. You little wretches. Am I stealing your gown? I've been cultivating myself for many years. How can I be a thief?" Yang Jian scolded them. "Who are you then?" "I'm Yang Jian, disciple of Jade Tripod. Hearing this, the two lads immediately knelt down and kowtowed, saying, "We beg your pardon, master, for failing to welcome you." "Who are you, lads?" "We're the Golden Fleece lads from Mount Wuyi. Now that you acknowledge me as your master, go to see Prime Minister Jiang and tell him that I'm on my way to Dragon Squeezing Mountain." Yang Jian instructed, "What shall we do if the Prime Minister doesn't accept us?" "He'll certainly welcome you if you show him my lance, cutlass and gown." The two lads bade him farewell and hurried to West Qi on a watery cloud. When they arrived, they were admitted to the Prime Minister's mansion. They knelt before Jiang Ziya. "We're the Golden Fleece lads, disciples of Yang Jian. He sent us here to report to you that he's on his way to Dragon Squeezing Mountain. I'm delighted that Yang Jian has two disciples," Jiang Ziya said, and asked them to serve in the Prime Minister's mansion. Arriving finally at Dragon Squeezing Mountain, Yang Jian entered the Flying Cloud Cave, knelt before Krakukanda, and hailed him. "Greetings, uncle. What brings you here?" the immortal asked after he returned the greeting. "Is your celestial binding rope missing, uncle?" "How do you know?" the immortal cried, leaping to his feet. "There's one Earth Traveler son under the command of Deng Zhougong. He's taken some of Jiang Diya's disciples with your rope. I've come here to report the matter and await your instructions." Krakukanta was furious. "That beast! How dare he steal my magic ropes, run away, and degrade my honor? Yang Jian, return to West Qi at once. I'll follow straightway." Back in West Qi, Yang Jian entered the Prime Minister's mansion, and Jiang Ziya hurriedly asked, "Is it the celestial binding rope?" Yang Jian told him how he had met the Golden Fleece lads, how he had visited the Green Phoenix Palace, and how he had met with Krakukanda. Jiang Ziya said happily, "Congratulations! You now have your own disciples. It's all been destined by fate. It was through your virtue and King Wu's fortune that I obtained the cutlass and gown." Yang Jian replied. After Yang Jian left, Krakukanta told his lad, "Keep a close watch on the cave until I return." He traveled on a golden light beam and soon arrived in West Qi, where he was met by Jiang Ziya. They entered the Prime Minister's mansion arm in arm, exchanged bows, and then sat down. "I didn't know that it was your honorable disciple. Yang Jian was the one who found out. I've asked you here to fulfill the promise you made to Burning Lamp," Jiang Ziya explained. "Since my return from the 10 death traps, I haven't checked over my treasures. I never imagined that beast would steal the rope and make trouble here. Never mind, I can capture him easily enough," the immortal replied. Jiang Ziya was overjoyed. The following day he rode out alone on his nondescript horse to the camp gate of the Shang army. A patrolman immediately reported to Deng Zhougong, "Commander, Jiang Ziya's scouting around our camp gate and observing our activities. Jiang Ziya is tricky. Be on guard against him." Deng Zhougong warned his generals. Earth Traveler Sun was pleased to hear the news. "Rest assured, Commander. I'll capture him for you, and we'll win our final victory today." He rushed out of the camp gate and yelled loudly, "Jiang Ziya, you're simply asking for trouble, coming out alone to spy on us. Don't run away." He swung his cudgel at Jiang Ziya, who met him with his sword. After only 3 rounds, Jiang Ziya turned and fled. Sun chased him and cast up a piece of magic rope, little imagining that Krakukanda was hiding in the clouds. Earth Traveler Sun thought of nothing but taking Jiang Ziya so that he could consummate his marriage with Deng Changyu. He threw the ropes into the air, one by one, not thinking about why they failed to come down. He reached into his bag one last time and to his surprise, found none left. He pulled up short and stood still. Jiang Ziya turned his nondescript horse about. "Dwarf, do you dare to meet me in 3 more rounds of combat?" Angered, Sun set off after Jiang again, his cudgel trailing behind him. As he rounded the city wall, he heard a voice calling, "Where are you going, Earth Traveler Sun?" He looked up and seeing his master before him, quickly stamped his foot in an attempt to enter the ground. Krakukanta pointed at the ground with his fingers and shouted, "Stop!" The ground on which Sun was standing immediately became harder than iron, making it impossible for the dwarf to descend. Krakukanta jumped forward and seized his disciple. He tied him up with a magic rope and told his men to carry him into the city. When they learned that Sun had been taken alive, all the Zhou generals came to the prime minister's mansion. When the dwarf was lowered to the ground, Yang Jian said hurriedly, "Be careful, uncle. He'll run away. Now that I'm here, it doesn't matter." The immortal said. Then, he turned to Earth Traveler Sun. "You beast. I never expected that you would steal my ropes. Now tell me the truth. Who incited you to it? When you were away, I was wandering about the mountain when I met a Taoist on a tiger. He asked my name and told me that he was Shen Gongbao, a member of Chan Taoism. He said I had no possibility of becoming an immortal, but could enjoy worldly riches and power. He recommended that I go to Sanshan Pass and offer my service to Deng Zhougong. I couldn't resist the temptation, master. I was deceived, as riches and power are coveted by all while poverty and lowliness are despised. I thus stole your ropes and 2 gourds of elixir pills, left the mountain, and joined the army. Please show compassion and forgive me, master." Earth Traveler Sun begged. "Behead him at once. Such a beast is a disgrace to Mount Kunlun." Jiang Ziya exclaimed. "He deserves death. Nevertheless, he could be useful in the future." The immortal said, "Though you, my brother, taught him how to travel under the ground, he's wicked at heart. He entered the city to assassinate King Wu and me. Fortunately, heaven alerted me with a violent wind that broke a flagpole. Though Yang Jian managed to seize him, he slipped away again. What's the use of such a renegade?" Jiang Ziya objected. Astonished, the immortal jumped up from his seat and shouted, "You damned beast! How dare you attempt to assassinate King Wu and your uncle? What would I have done had you hurt them? I must tell you the truth, dear master. I captured first Ne Jia and then Huang Tianhua. Commander Deng was so pleased that he held a banquet in my honor. He was even more pleased when I bound up my uncle, and he promised me his daughter's hand if I succeeded in conquering the city. As he repeatedly urged me to achieve great feats, I entered the city as Uncle Jiang stated. That is the true story." Krakukanta lowered his head in thought, silently made a divination, and then sighed unconsciously. "Why do you sigh, brother?" Jiang Ziya asked. "I've just made a divination, brother. This beast and the girl are destined by fate to be married. Find a good matchmaker to help them complete the event. If we can get the girl as his wife, her father will certainly come over." The immortal explained. "How can we hope to arrange a wedding when Deng Zhougong is at war with us? With the good fortune of King Wu, we can solve this problem. The matter has already been determined by fate, so we shouldn't be afraid of failure. Pick an eloquent scholar to approach the Shang camp as a matchmaker." Jiang Ziya pondered this for a while and then said, "San Yisheng is the man. He must be dispatched immediately." The immortal ordered. Jiang Ziya sent for San Yisheng and set Earth Traveler Sun free. "Deng Zhougong has promised his daughter to Sun. I must trouble you to go and see him about the match. Do your best to accomplish this mission." Jiang Ziya told San Yisheng on his arrival. Deng Zhougong was waiting eagerly for Earth Traveler Sun. When Sun failed to return, he sent his men to find out what had happened. He was greatly alarmed to learn that Sun had been taken. "How can I ever subdue West Qi now that I've lost that fellow? How did events develop?" Please read the next chapter to find out.